If you eat one thing before bed tonight, let it be this. Because what I'm about to share with you could quietly change the way your kidneys function for the rest of your life. I am a doctor, and in my years of practice, I have seen thousands of patients walk into my office with tired eyes, swollen ankles, high blood pressure, and no idea that their kidneys were the reason behind it. Your kidneys are two small, bean-shaped organs, each about the size of your fist, sitting quietly under your rib cage on either side of your spine. And yet, these two small organs are responsible for filtering about 50 gallons of blood every single day. They remove waste, they balance your electrolytes, they control your blood pressure, they regulate the fluid in your body, and they even produce hormones that keep your bones strong and your blood cells healthy. Despite doing all of this work, your kidneys almost never complain. They do not send you sharp pain like a stomach ache. They do not swell up like a sprained ankle. They simply keep working, silently, until one day, sometimes far too late, the damage has already been done. This is why kidney disease is often called a silent condition. By the time symptoms show up, a significant portion of kidney function may already be lost. So today, I want to talk to you about something simple, something natural, something you can literally hold in your hand that may help support your kidney health, especially when eaten at the right time, in the right way, before you go to sleep. Before I tell you exactly which fruit I am talking about, I want you to understand why timing matters so much when it comes to your kidneys. Your body does not function the same way at 3 in the afternoon as it does at 11 at night. There is a natural rhythm inside you, a biological clock that controls almost every organ, including your kidneys. During the day, your kidneys are busy filtering out whatever you have eaten, whatever fluids you have taken in, and adjusting your blood pressure to keep up with your activity. But at night, something different happens. Your blood pressure is supposed to naturally dip during sleep. This is called nocturnal dipping, and it gives your heart and your blood vessels a much-needed rest. Your kidneys, at the same time, shift into a slower, more repair-focused mode. This is when much of the cellular repair in your body happens, when oxidative stress from the day is cleaned up, when inflammation is calmed down. And this is exactly why what you eat before bed can have such an outsized effect on your kidney health, because you are feeding your body right as it enters its repair window. Now here is something that might surprise you. Not all fruits are good for your kidneys, especially at night. Many people believe that fruit is automatically healthy, and in most cases it is. But for your kidneys specifically, some fruits can actually create more work rather than less. Bananas, for example, are often praised as a healthy bedtime snack because they contain magnesium and are said to help with sleep. But bananas are also extremely high in potassium. For a person with healthy kidneys, this is usually not a problem because healthy kidneys can filter out extra potassium efficiently. But for anyone whose kidney function is already reduced, even mildly, high potassium foods eaten right before bed can cause the potassium levels in the blood to rise overnight, which can affect heart rhythm and put unnecessary strain on the kidneys while you sleep. The same goes for oranges, dried fruits like raisins and apricots, and avocados. They are wonderful fruits in many ways, but they are not necessarily the best choice for a nighttime snack when your goal is to support your kidneys. So what is the fruit I want to introduce you to? It is the humble blueberry. Yes, the small, deep blue, slightly tart berry that you have probably eaten in a smoothie or sprinkled on your morning cereal. Blueberries are one of the few fruits that combine a naturally low potassium content with an extraordinarily high concentration of antioxidants. And this combination is exactly what makes them so valuable for kidney health, especially when eaten in a small portion before bed. Let me explain why this matters so much. Your kidneys are constantly exposed to oxidative stress. Every time your body breaks down food, processes toxins, or deals with high blood sugar and high blood pressure, it produces unstable molecules called free radicals. These free radicals can damage the delicate filtering units inside your kidneys, called nephrons. Over years, this kind of damage accumulates, and it is one of the reasons kidney function naturally declines with age, and declines even faster in people with diabetes, high blood pressure, or poor dietary habits. Blueberries are exceptionally rich in a group of antioxidants called anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries their deep blue and purple color, and they are among the most powerful antioxidants found in any commonly eaten fruit. Anthocyanins work by neutralizing free radicals before they have a chance to damage your cells, including the cells that make up your kidney tissue. Several nutrition studies have shown that diets rich in anthocyanins are associated with lower markers of inflammation and oxidative stress in the body. And since the kidneys are among the most metabolically active organs, constantly filtering and processing, they benefit enormously from this kind of antioxidant protection. There is another reason blueberries stand out. Unlike many fruits, they have a relatively low glycemic index, which means they do not cause a sharp spike in your blood sugar after you eat them. This matters because one of the leading causes of kidney damage worldwide is diabetes. When blood sugar levels spike repeatedly over time, it damages the tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys, the same blood vessels responsible for filtering your blood. This is called diabetic nephropathy, and it is one of the most common reasons people eventually need dialysis. By choosing a fruit like blueberries instead of something with a high sugar content, especially at night when your body is less active and less able to quickly process large amounts of sugar, you are reducing the burden on your kidneys rather than adding to it. Blueberries also contain a meaningful amount of fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, and manganese, all in a package that is naturally low in sodium and low in potassium compared to many other fruits. This is important because sodium and excess potassium are two of the biggest dietary concerns when it comes to kidney health. High sodium intake causes your body to retain fluid and raises blood pressure, and high blood pressure is, along with diabetes, one of the two leading causes of chronic kidney disease. When your kidneys are constantly working against high blood pressure, the tiny blood vessels inside them can become scarred and damaged over time. A small handful of blueberries before bed, on the other hand, adds virtually no sodium to your diet, while giving your body a gentle dose of nutrients that support healthy blood vessel function. I also want to talk about hydration, because this ties in directly with why blueberries specifically, and fruit in general, can be helpful before bed. Blueberries are made up of a good percentage of water. When you eat them in the evening, you are providing your body with a small amount of natural hydration without the need to drink large volumes of water right before sleep, which many people avoid because it disrupts their sleep with frequent trips to the bathroom. Your kidneys need adequate hydration to function properly. When you are dehydrated, your blood becomes more concentrated and your kidneys have to work harder to filter it. Chronic mild dehydration, something many people do not even realize they are experiencing, has been linked in research to a higher long-term risk of kidney stones and reduced kidney function. A small serving of a water-rich fruit like blueberries can be a gentle way to support hydration status without overwhelming your bladder overnight. Now, I want to be very clear about something, because as a doctor, I take accuracy seriously, and I never want to give you a message that is exaggerated or misleading. Blueberries are not a magic cure. They will not reverse existing kidney damage. They will not replace medication if you have been prescribed medication for high blood pressure, diabetes, or kidney disease. What they can do, based on what we understand from nutrition science, is provide a supportive, low-risk addition to your diet that reduces some of the everyday burden placed on your kidneys. Think of your kidneys like a filter in an air conditioning system. Every single day, that filter has to work to keep the air clean. If you constantly expose that filter to smoke, dust, and debris, it wears out faster. But if you keep the air around it relatively clean, that filter lasts longer and works more efficiently. Blueberries and healthy habits in general are like keeping the air clean around your kidney filter. They are not going to repair a filter that is already severely damaged, but they can help prevent unnecessary extra strain, and they can support the kidney tissue that is still healthy and functioning. So, how much should you actually eat, and how should you eat it? For most healthy adults, a serving of about half a cup to 1 cup of fresh blueberries in the evening, roughly 30 minutes to an hour before bed, is a reasonable amount. You do not need to drown them in sugar, honey, or heavy cream. Eating them plain, or perhaps with a small amount of plain yogurt if you tolerate dairy well, allows you to get the benefit of the antioxidants and fiber without adding unnecessary sugar or sodium right before your body enters its overnight repair phase. Frozen blueberries, by the way, retain most of their antioxidant content, so if fresh blueberries are not available or are too expensive where you live, frozen ones are a perfectly good alternative. What you want to avoid is blueberry-flavored snacks, blueberry muffins, blueberry-flavored yogurt with added sugar, or blueberry juice concentrates, because these products often contain far more sugar than actual blueberries, and that added sugar works against the very benefit you are trying to achieve. I do want to pause here and speak directly to anyone watching this who has already been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, or who is on dialysis, or who has been told by their doctor to follow a potassium-restricted or fluid-restricted diet. If this is you, please do not simply add blueberries or any fruit to your diet without speaking to your nephrologist or your renal dietitian first. Kidney disease exists on a spectrum, and depending on the stage of your condition, even a fruit that is relatively low in potassium compared to others might still need to be limited or portioned very specifically for your individual case. What I am describing today is general information meant for a broad audience with typical healthy kidney function, or for those looking to support their kidney health proactively before problems develop. It is not a personalized medical recommendation, and it is not a replacement for the specific dietary plan your own doctor has given you. Please always prioritize the individualized advice from the medical team who actually knows your lab results, your kidney function numbers, and your full medical history. With that said, let us talk about why supporting your kidneys matters so much and why I wanted to make this video in the first place. Chronic kidney disease affects an enormous number of people worldwide, and one of the most heartbreaking things I encounter in my practice is how many people had no idea anything was wrong until their kidney function had already dropped significantly. The kidneys have a remarkable reserve capacity, which means they can continue to function reasonably well even when a significant portion of their filtering ability has already been lost. This is a blessing in some ways because it gives your body resilience, but it is also a curse because it means symptoms often do not appear until the damage is quite advanced. This is why prevention, through simple daily habits, matters so much more than most people realize. I want you to think about a few warning signs that your kidneys might be asking for help. Signs that are often ignored because they seem minor or unrelated. Persistent fatigue that does not improve with rest can be a sign that your kidneys are not clearing waste products effectively, allowing toxins to build up in your bloodstream. Swelling in your ankles, feet, or around your eyes, especially in the morning, can indicate that your kidneys are not properly balancing fluid in your body. Changes in urination, whether that is urinating much more frequently, much less frequently, or noticing foamy or bubbly urine, can be an important early clue because foamy urine in particular can indicate protein leaking into the urine, which is one of the earliest detectable signs of kidney stress. Difficult to control blood pressure despite medication and lifestyle changes is another red flag, because the kidneys and blood pressure are deeply interconnected, each one affecting the other in a continuous loop. If you notice any of these signs persisting, please do not wait. See your doctor, ask for a simple blood test that checks your kidney function, and a urine test that checks for protein. These are inexpensive, widely available tests that can catch problems years before they become serious. Beyond eating blueberries in the evening, there are several other daily habits that genuinely make a difference in long-term kidney health, and I want to walk through them with you because a single fruit, no matter how beneficial, works best as part of a broader pattern of care for your body. Staying properly hydrated throughout the day, not just at night, helps your kidneys filter waste more efficiently and reduces the risk of kidney stones. Most people do not need to obsessively count glasses of water, but paying attention to your urine color is a simple, practical guide. Pale yellow generally indicates good hydration, while consistently dark yellow urine can be a sign that you need to drink more fluids throughout the day. Reducing sodium intake is one of the single most impactful changes most people can make. Processed foods, canned soups, packaged snacks, fast food, and even seemingly healthy foods like bread and cheese can be surprisingly high in hidden sodium. Reading nutrition labels and gradually reducing your reliance on heavily processed foods can meaningfully lower the daily workload placed on your kidneys. Managing blood sugar levels, especially if you have prediabetes or diabetes, is critical. Because as I mentioned earlier, elevated blood sugar over time is one of the leading causes of kidney damage. This does not mean you need to eliminate all sugar from your life, but being mindful of portion sizes, choosing whole foods over refined carbohydrates, and incorporating regular physical activity can go a long way in keeping your blood sugar stable. Managing blood pressure is equally important. If you have been diagnosed with high blood pressure, taking your medication consistently, even when you feel fine, is essential, because uncontrolled high blood pressure silently damages the blood vessels in your kidneys over time, often without any noticeable symptoms until significant damage has occurred. Being cautious with over-the-counter pain medications, particularly non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, is another important habit. Occasional use for a headache or muscle ache is generally fine for most people with healthy kidneys, but regular, frequent use of these medications over long periods of time has been associated with kidney damage, because these drugs can reduce blood flow to the kidneys when used excessively. If you find yourself relying on these medications frequently, it is worth discussing safer long-term pain management options with your doctor. Avoiding smoking and limiting excessive alcohol consumption also protects your kidneys, because both can damage blood vessels throughout your body, including the delicate vessels within your kidneys, and both are associated with a higher long-term risk of kidney function decline. Regular physical activity supports healthy blood pressure, healthy blood sugar levels, and healthy body weight, all of which indirectly protect your kidneys. You do not need to run marathons. Even a consistent daily walk of 30 minutes has been shown in research to meaningfully support cardiovascular and metabolic health, which in turn supports kidney health, because your kidneys are so closely tied to your circulatory system. And finally, if you have any risk factors for kidney disease, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, a family history of kidney disease, or you are over the age of 60, having your kidney function checked regularly through simple blood and urine tests allows you and your doctor to catch any early changes long before symptoms would ever appear. Coming back to where we started, I want you to think about your kidneys tonight in a different way than you probably have before. These two quiet organs work every single hour of every single day, without complaint, without rest, filtering your blood, balancing your body, protecting you in ways you rarely think about. And tonight, before you go to sleep, you have an opportunity to give them something small but meaningful. A handful of blueberries, unsweetened, simple, natural, rich in antioxidants that help calm the oxidative stress your kidneys deal with every day, low in the potassium and sodium that can add unnecessary strain, and gentle enough to support hydration without disrupting your sleep. It is such a small act, and yet, when repeated consistently, night after night, week after week, it becomes part of a larger pattern of care for an organ system that so often gets overlooked until something goes wrong. I always tell my patients that health is rarely about one dramatic decision. It is about small, repeated choices that add up quietly over months and years. Choosing blueberries over a sugary snack before bed will not undo years of poor habits overnight, and it is not meant to replace medical care, medication, or the personalized guidance of your own doctor. But it is a small, evidence-supported, low-risk choice that fits easily into almost anyone's routine, and it reflects a mindset of proactive care rather than waiting for symptoms to force your hand. Your kidneys have been working for you silently since the day you were born. Tonight, in a small way, you can work for them. If you found this information helpful, please consider sharing it with someone in your life who might benefit from hearing it, especially anyone managing high blood pressure, diabetes, or simply looking to take better care of their long-term health. And as always, remember that this video is meant to provide general health information and education. It is not a substitute for personalized medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your own doctor or a qualified healthcare professional regarding your specific health situation, especially before making any significant changes to your diet if you have an existing kidney condition or any other chronic illness. Take care of yourself, take care of your kidneys, and I will see you in the next video.